All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome to tea time.
Welcome to tea time.
Cheers. All right. Hopefully you're doing well. And I'm going to jump right to my tea. And I know it's past season, but my tea is Christmas in Paris. I think we've talked about this one.
Yeah,
I featured this one before.
Around Christmas time.
There's not too many left. And I don't even know, can you get it like
No.
off season? No. So anyway, Christmas in Paris. Luxurious chocolatey flavor paired with lavender and cool mint. So yeah, it's chocolatey and minty, and those are two good flavors for me. What have you got?
Well, just to say that, so 2 Christmases ago, I bought 1 box of that Noel in Paris, and then another one. It was another Christmas one, and then I loved them so much, and we drank them so quickly. So this year I made sure to stock up and get more, but then we kind of got sick of them a little bit, so we haven't been drinking them. So next year just 1 box is good, and then it'll leave me wanting more when Christmas comes around next year. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I've had this one in over a month. So
yeah, I haven't had it in a while either, so
it's fine.
Yeah, so today I'm having turmeric golden milk, and this also has chocolate in it. So this is from my online supplement store from a company called Botanica. Has some really great products, but I'm really loving these powdered teas. So ingredients are organic cocoa, dates, turmeric root, chocolate, coconut, vanilla, sea salt, cinnamon, cardamom, ashwagandha, which is a nice adaptogen, and black pepper. So black pepper in there to help you absorb the curcumin from the turmeric. So lovely. Really into turmeric. I was making turmeric lattes like a couple of weeks ago, like around 7 o'clock. And yeah, so anyway, I'm into the turmeric these days, which is lovely. So that's what I'm having.
Nice. And well, Valentine's Day was just here. So hopefully you've had a nice Valentine's Day. Ours was pretty quiet, but
we didn't do anything.
It's still fun. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day, or belated Valentine's Day by the time you're viewing this. But I was gonna lost my train of thought there, but I'm gonna go back to this book again quick. Still digesting it. It's not a big book, but just it's very heady, right? Like there's a lot to digest and to think about in the Future Humans trilogy and the Quest of Rose. So I just wanted to share this little bit. There was a nice so in each chapter, right, there's a key or there's a lesson, and then there's often like a meditative practice that is offered to help you kind of develop or practice or get the message of what the key is there for you. But this I'm trying to, let me give you what the key. It's about the cosmic butterfly, meaning just basically like becoming or changing or transforming, if you think of the process of a butterfly. But this I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bookmarks in there of different things I'm trying to keep track of in my head. Anyway, this one I just wanted to share. I'm not going to read it all to you, but it's called Practice for Inner Healing with the Cosmic Healing Cocoon. So essentially they're just thinking of cueing you to generate or create this envision yourself cocooning yourself, like putting yourself inside a cocoon where you would feel safe. And then in this case, they're using the challenge that Rose has had with COVID and recovering from and being in that safe space within the cocoon. And basically what her grandmother is giving her this practice. Basically, she's kind of encouraging her to get in there and get settled in and feel safe and be receptive to the virus and not afraid of it, but really allowing it to be a friend, sort of. Those aren't the exact words, but it's that essence of just being happy with it or coherent with it, synchronized with it. So I just thought that would be might be useful for some folks, because I know the Omicron is so potent and flying around right now. And I just thought if people are more receptive and not afraid of it, you're going to have a little more, probably a much easier time time dealing with it, because viruses want you to live, so then you could pass them along. So anyway, if you'd like, you can do a cocooning practice. Just like take a few minutes, slow, deep breaths, and we're going to talk about breath today too, and put yourself in a little cocoon state and just feel, okay, this is here and I'm cool with it. My body is very capable. I can heal through this and I welcome it, and we're pals or we're buddies, and that kind of thought process will help you to get through it much quicker, I'm sure, in my opinion. Anyway, there's more to the book yet, but I'm getting towards the end. So as I get more, I'll share a bit more. Can I go on books more?
Sure, yeah.
And we've been talking about this gentleman, Greg Braden. I don't know if any of you have explored him yet. I found recently on Hoopla, is the app, which is tied to our local library here. And the content there's a bunch of, there's a few audiobooks by Greg Braden. So I just wanted to share the titles because the two books are pretty similar. So this one is called The Isaiah Effect. It's from 2007, and as an audiobook, it's just 2 hours and 24 minutes. And it's subtitled Decoding the Lost Science of Prayer and Prophecy. So he's just talking about prayer. If you think of prayer, you could also, if you want to substitute that word, manifestation. I don't know if some of you are familiar with The Secret, from that big documentary from years ago. It's kind of based around that. And then the other book is titled, I'm just opening.
So if you so you're saying manifestation, so it's prayer. Let me just tell you what I'm thinking, because based on this book. So what was the name of the book called again?
The Isaiah Effect.
The Isaiah Effect. So when we think about Isaiah was the prophet that prophesied the coming of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So it's based on that sort of idea that like if we sit in prayer, if we sit in meditation and think about this, think about something happening, then it can manifest and happen. No, I'm off.
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
What I was going to say is you're onto it, the Isaiah Effect. And well, let me tell you, the title of the second book is called The Lost Mode of Prayer, again from 2007, and a 2.5-hour book. Yes, so Greg is a geologist and an explorer, and he's had opportunity to travel through different cultures in different parts of the world. So what he's finding from studying old scripture, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, especially, is a big reference in there, and maybe how some of those scriptures were maybe originally interpreted, is that the correct word, to maybe better interpretations now, going back and revisiting some of these things, analyzing how maybe prayer was looked at, or and when you understand the translation of the wording more so, maybe that style of prayer becomes a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
In that, rather than praying for something, you're praying that it's already happened kind of effect. So we're good. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So the story was, did I tell this story about the rain? Does that sound familiar? Okay, so this is a quick example. So the place where Greg lived, very barren, very dry summer, met with a native individual as a friend, and they got talking about prayer. So Greg was quite interested to pick the guy's brain, and the guy said, well, why don't I give you an example? We'll go out and I'm going to show you how he does prayer. Anyway, the gentleman takes him out into the woods or into the desert, and like I say, a very dry drought seasoning. So the man goes, and there's if I say the wheel of life, if you know native cultures or indigenous cultures, you might be familiar with that, or the medicine wheel. Anyway, Greg explains that there's a medicine wheel in the ground out where he takes him. The man takes and stands in the center of the wheel and just calms himself and seems to go just into a peaceful state for about 3 minutes, Greg says. And then the guy steps out of the circle and says, I'm done, let's go. We'll go have lunch. He's like, well, wait a minute, what just happened? Where's the praying? You didn't even say any words or anything. But so what he explains is what he did in his head is that he created a feeling of and a sense of gratitude for rain, rather than praying like for rain to come. Because when you get to that, if you think of that analogy of it, you're praying for it, so that you're wanting it. So the universe is very literal. So it would then provide you always a wanting of rain, and not giving you rain. It would provide you a wanting of rain. So instead, using the prayer in this fashion, he goes with feelings. So instead, he started with calming himself, and then being grateful for the rain in that, and then creating the sensations. He describes it as, I would feel like I was standing in the mud, because it was so saturated with water from the rain that I could feel the mud between my toes, and I could feel the sensations on my feet, and I could feel it on my face. And I could feel the corn stalks as I was walking through the fields, because they were growing because of the abundance of rain, and using his bodily sensations to generate the feeling of the future of after the rain has happened, but living it right there in the moment. So he's kind of like taking the future and pulling it to himself, and bringing those 2 points together. So that's where that mode of prayer is all based around feeling what, and using your body to sense and feel in a grateful state for the thing, whatever it is you're praying for, rather than praying for it. Like, I want rain, we need rain. And it's coming from a mindset of we don't have it, to I'm so grateful for it. It's so fantastic. Yeah, that was a big story, but that makes, you got a comment?
I was just going to say, it kind of reminds me of that daydreaming. Like, if you daydream about, like, I always daydream about me and my gardens, and how luscious they are, and how much bounty they have, and just spending hours in there, like fiddling around. And so, yeah, I'm dreaming of it already happening. I'm there, I'm in my garden, I'm grabbing a little cherry tomato off my plant. Like, I envision it. So it's that idea of it's already happened. And that really fuels my passion. Like, I'm so excited. I mean, who isn't excited for spring and summer? But right. I'm so excited to just spend so much time outdoors this season, and just being that, and envisioning that, and living that. And I'm like 100% sure I'm going to make it happen, because I'm so passionate about it this year for some reason. Yeah.
Can I add to that? I want to add about the analogy of the prayer. And then the next phase would be just surrendering and allowing, meaning you don't set it's going to rain like tomorrow at 5:00. You just allow the divine, or the creator, or God, or whatever, Mother Nature, however you view that, you're just grateful that it's going to happen, and it will you trust that it's going to happen as it's meant to happen, whether it's today at 5 or 2 weeks from now. Or your gardens, right? They're not going to be in the middle of the snow. You're not going to get beautiful gardens, but in the spring, at some point, maybe the conditions are right, and you get them.
And I think that word trust is a big word. No matter what your denomination is, I think when we make prayers, when we set goals, you write it down, you write down your intention, what your wants are, what you're praying for, or you think it, and then you just leave it. You just leave it to trust that it will happen in its own time, on its own will, as it intends to be.
Sure.
And sometimes we don't trust. I know I do that a lot with even my own business goals. Like, I'm like, oh, I got to do like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I didn't get these things done. And I'm, how can I get these things done? And it's just about like, these are the things I want to accomplish. I got to trust that they're going to get done in the time that they're supposed to be done, and just let go. When you let go of a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. So it's just a matter if you can do it or not. Anyway, that's a little side note.
Which always isn't easy.
Yeah.
Then I think you were going to share what's new for you, or your experience in the last couple of weeks.
So the last time we talked was 2 weeks ago. We took last week off because I was sick. You may still hear it in my nasal, maybe a little bit nasally still. But we did have, and we told you we had a positive case of COVID in our house. So we isolated for our 10 days that we needed to isolate, and everything was fine, kind of. I got sick a couple of days later, after our oldest son tested positive. I didn't have the same symptoms as he did. He threw up once, he slept, and that was it.
Done in 24 hours or less.
Yeah, and mine was more of a cold. I got a fever for one day, and then like body aches for one day, and then it turned into this cold. So lots of congestion in the sinuses, headache. I did lose my sense of taste and sense of smell for a couple of days, and then a cough started. But every time I test, it's negative.
On a rapid test.
On the rapid test, it's negative. Like it's always negative. But I have all of the symptoms. I have the symptoms more than what my son had for symptoms.
Right.
So it's really varying for all of us. I think as you hit a certain age, maybe it might change a little bit. So yeah, so we took the week off because I was really tired. Yeah, I was really tired. So I just needed some time to rest. I did all of my herbal remedies, as we had showed you the last few weeks. So I did all of those, and drank a lot of herbal tea, really bumped up a lot with my supplements. I did a little consultation with our naturopathic doctor just to see if what I was taking the right amounts, and if I could take any more. It was a really bad cold. That's what it's come down to, like a really bad cold.
Mhm.
And I say cold because it's so congested in through my nasal passage. So anyway, on the mend now, feeling better.
I feel obligated to mention too that the day after Owen had his issue and then a positive test, I fell off for about I'll round up and say for one day. And so I have rapid tested several times since, and they've all come negative as well. But yeah, I had some nausea in the gut and a light headache, which I don't normally get, and it was odd, and it made me think that it was maybe what he had. But so I did a bunch of energy medicine and again testing, but you know, if I'm right there cleaning up his vomit, like
Yeah.
very likely I breathed that in. So I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm like 90% sure I've been exposed and had it, but I can't have a positive test. But that's the other thing we wanted to say. Because of that, we've been like researching on the rapid test, and you're in agreement, right? That much of what we're seeing is they're saying that they're not that great at detecting the Omicron variant. Is that what
I think so, yeah.
And that's what I read.
And even like I did like a cheek swab and a throat swab and a tongue swab and a nose swab, and it was still, yeah, it still came back negative. But
yeah, because you got a recommendation, like we read that they said rather than just the nose, you may, if you swab in the cheek and the back of your tongue and your nose, that it may lend to giving you a more accurate test, I guess. Again, there's lots of information out there, but sometimes you don't know what's what. But anyway, you tried it.
Yeah. And I stayed home. I was sick. I didn't know if I had it or not. And just to be cautious, I stayed home. I didn't go out anywhere. I didn't visit with anybody. I think I took my son to work on Sunday, and that was the first time I'd left the house.
Like you just drove him there, right? Like
and I just drove him there.
You didn't get out of the car.
Didn't get out of the car.
Drove to town and back.
Because I just want to, make sure that I'm not passing anything to anybody. So did my due diligence that way. But some like illnesses happen. Sometimes it's a sign to slow down. Like just slow down. You've been going too hard. Take the time to rest. The days that I felt the best were the days that I just laid on the couch and kind of maybe did a little bit of work and then laid on the couch and watched TV, or were like laid in my bed and read. Those are the days I felt the best. The days that I got up and did stuff like lots of cooking and baking and vacuuming and all this stuff were the days that I felt the worst. And so it was just like, slow down. It's okay. That stuff can wait for another time. So anyway, that's what we wanted to, just to share.
Anyway,
with that.
That's
so let's change subjects. What's going on with Zeal on your end?
Oh, okay. So for February, or leading into February, we decided we were going to amalgamate the yoga channels. So coming in toward March here, we're going to amalgamate the two stretching channels, which is the dynamic stretch and the stretch and relax. So the two of those will become the stretching channel. So we'll work on that in the next little bit and have that ready to go probably before March. I know a lot of folks tend to start their subscriptions kick in right around the beginning of the month. So I want to make sure that's in place before the beginning of March for anyone that maybe does one or the other. You'll know you have access to both that way. So yeah, again, going from I want to say there's maybe 6 and 7 in there, so doubling to 13 videos then available. But between now and then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a new stretch and relax to add in there for headache relief. There's so it's a bit of energy medicine just tied in with stretching. So I'm actually going to make 2 videos on it. They won't be long. One giving you the mechanics, how to do an isometric stretch, how to breathe through the stretch or with the stretch, and talk about how you can envision the breath moving through you and the energy moving through you to help release the headache. And then I'll have a second video, which will be probably I'm going to say about a 10-minute stretch to help. Basically, essentially, we're just stretching things out through the neck all the way around, because that often for a tension headache, that's often what happens. Not saying all headaches are that way, but you get musculature that's tense and holding things in a bad way, and the energy doesn't flow, and you can get a tension headache.
Not only that, but the muscles will tighten around nerves and tighten around blood vessels. So it'd be like lack of blood flow, lack of nerve impulses. So I get headaches quite often. Well, probably a bad one once a month, and I've used this method whenever I feel a headache coming on, and it helps a lot. I think the idea is, though, what I should be doing is probably doing it a couple of times a week just for maintenance, so that this stuff that's causing all of the tension is released regularly, so you don't get the headache in the first place. But you know, I'm human. So what happens is I get a headache, and then I'm like, oh, where's that, where's that tool I need? So we're going to put that on there, which is going to be great.
But exactly what Tricia's saying, the preventative practice of it would be beneficial if you're one to experience headaches often. Like if you get a headache like once a year, then sure, you're fine. But if you experience them more often than, once or twice a month, then maybe you want to do that headache routine once or twice a week. And if it's only 10 minutes, then, the video will be nice to cue you and teach you, but maybe then if you're at work and you only got 5 minutes, you just do a part of the routine to help you get through your day or whatever it might be. So that's coming up. That's new for Zeal. And then you've got new news for Zeal as well, which is?
So I had a membership program last year that I did for about 6 months called the Eat, Heal, Thrive community. And it's more of a nutrition-based membership, but I'm going to start that back up in March. So the cost is $27 for the month. Lots of perks to this program. You get a meal plan of the month based on the theme. You also get access to a nutrition portal where you can log your nutrition information and your daily meals that you're eating. And then I'm viewing that once a week, so I can go back and just give you some tips on what maybe you can incorporate in, what you can take out, maybe some swaps you can do. So just having that extra set of eyes and that little bit of accountability, if that's something you're interested in. We also meet a couple of times through the month and go over some information. So for the month of March, we are talking about rituals in terms of setting yourself up for a healthy day. So your morning ritual, your evening ritual, what ritual you do on the weekends, and what's something you do throughout the week, just to help to have a plan going forward, so you're set up for success. So that's going to be our focus in March. Like I said, it's really affordable, $27. The other thing is that because I ran this program previously, you will also have access to all of the classes that I have done before. Eating right for your body type, liver detoxification, stress. So lots of things lots of other things that you'll be able to access. And I'm really hoping to get all of this information. Right now it's in a Facebook group, but I want to get all this information on our website, on our platform, similar to how we use the exercise videos. So you would go to the Eat, Heal, Thrive membership, and then you would click on there, and then all of the videos would come up. So if you wanted to go back and watch and learn, then you can. So that is hopefully going to happen in March. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we'll get you started.
Right. So just like the fitness stuff, then if you've got an active like subscription or paid membership, then you have access to the videos.
Yeah.
The videos would be on the web page similar to the other. So if you're a non-member, they could probably click on the video and get like a 20-second preview, likely. Just if you know, if someone hadn't done the membership program before and was kind of on the fence and wanted to learn more about it, we'll set it up that those videos have like a 20-second preview, and then so you can kind of see what they're about. But yeah, you wouldn't have full access until you're a member for that. But, okay. Yeah. So we'll work on that. It's been a while, so it might take a bit of effort in remembering. I know I put all that content on for the video fitness so that this would be similar in building it, creating it. I'll get it done.
We'll see. Just be patient with us. If not,
It'll happen. Yes.
Even if you joined, like all of those videos are in the private Facebook group, so you can see them and you can go to them. Even if we don't get them on the website, but that'll be a work in progress that we'll try to do.
Right.
Yeah.
The access there somehow. Okay.
All
and
right.
then so breath. So this month, right? February, we're talking about breath. So we were bouncing around ideas on which way to go with the topic of breath this morning. So Tricia's gonna tell us what we're doing.
Well, we talked about breath last time, and the idea, sorry, a little breath in. And the idea of just incorporating some nice deep breathing into your day. So today we thought we would talk about the benefits of breath and how it can benefit our lots of systems in our body. And then next week, we're going to talk about different types of breath, because there's lots of different types of breath. There's like different types of yogic breath. There's the Wim Hof method. So we'll just talk about all different types. But today, let's talk about the benefits. And one of the ones we talked about the last time was that it just activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And so parasympathetic nervous system is just that calming nervous system. So if we're always in a state of, especially now, what's happening today, what's going on today, like we're always like, what's happening? So taking nice big breaths in and out is really going to help activate that calm and relaxed system. So the benefits of that is being in a calm state. It's reducing our stress. It's activating our healing, because it can help activate our immune system when we're in this like calm state. And then you wanted to talk about being calm and peaceful.
Right.
Or not yet?
Well, no, I guess. So similar to where, how did I want to tie that in? So breath, right? Like to be calm, not always, but most often, if you think of being calm, you're probably peaceful, if that makes sense. So if you're in a peaceful place or space in your mind, then you can become calm as well. So you could do the breath work, but if your mind is still like, oh, I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G on my list, and your brain is still thinking that, but you might be breathing calmly, but your brain is fired up. I would say if you can couple the two together to be peaceful of your mind, as in quiet, and trying to minimize the running of your mind. And you can do that by more benefit.
Focusing on your breath. Focus on the inhale. Focus on how the breath feels through your nostrils. Focus on, excuse me.
Yeah, I do that in my yoga class.
The cool air. Focus on the exhale. So that's a way that you can kind of bring that peacefulness and calmness of your brain to your breath together as well.
Yeah, there's different cueing. Yeah, like I say, in yoga classes. So you think of a cue to help you keep you in the present moment, so your brain isn't running to the future.
Yeah. So a type of meditation, basically.
So meditative practice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're deep breathing too, you're getting your lungs expansion and moving, you're going to help pump lymph through your chest cavity and your chest wall. Go ahead.
Yes, so it acts as a pump. There's a nice big deep breath. We have our diaphragm, which is a large muscle. It acts as a pump, and it can help pull lymph from your lower body up into your upper body for circulation. And the same with our blood flow. So we have our heart that pumps the blood out, and then we have our muscles that help pump the blood, deoxygenated blood, back up to our heart.
Mhm.
But our deep breathing, our diaphragm can act as this difference in pressure to create its own pump to pull that blood and that lymph back up to your body. So the deep breathing is really important in that aspect. Like, let's say you broke your leg and you can't do any exercise. How are you going to be able to generate that blood and that lymph back up so it can be circulated and can be filtered? And one way to do that is to spend some time deep breathing. How much time would you spend exercising a day? 10 to 20 minutes. Spend that time in deep breath to build that pump back up. So really, really beneficial tool to use for that.
In that scenario too, your mindset could benefit as well. Like, you could envision the lymph in that broken leg or whatever it is flowing with the breath. Like, you breathing in, you could envision in your mind's eye that lymph is moving up, and think of like waves rolling in and out of the beach. You could think of that effect, that mindset coupled with your breathing there might benefit the movement of lymph for that person, or that person, anyone in that kind of situation with any injury where the limb is immobilized. You could try to add that aspect to it. Can I add one more?
Yeah.
The breathing, like slow and deep, right? Like that you're going to really oxygenate your blood well. And when you breathe deeply, you activate more of the physiological structures within the lungs, like your alveoli, and condition them to work well with transferring oxygen from your lungs to your bloodstream. So that you get those benefits, like on a cardiovascular and a respiratory system benefit as well. And when your blood is more oxygenated, sure, your healing is going to be better, potentially better, or recovering from injury, or your creativity for your day. Maybe you're more creative or coming up with fresh or new ideas. That kind of stuff can come from being more oxygenated by breathing nice and deep. What I think you had others. I know we.
Yeah, and so the next one I want to talk about was the elimination of toxins. As we take a breath out, we are eliminating toxins. And you can see this in the morning. If you wake up, go to the bathroom, look at your tongue, and it's full of stuff on your tongue that you've spent breathing out and expelling. So you get your tongue scraper and scrape that. So excuse me, having this nice big deep breath in and out, we are expelling a lot of these toxins that we are exposed to. Toxins from our food, toxins from our environment, toxins from our
everywhere.
Makeup products or skincare, all of that stuff. So really good idea to have some nice deep breathing to get rid of those toxins as well. And the last one we were going to talk about was you wanted to talk about a little bit about activating the feminine and masculine. So let's talk about that a little bit. That's
right.
Kind of
okay.
A fun little subject.
Typically, if you think of the body from an energy perspective or traditional Chinese medicine perspective, it would lend toward the left side of the body being more feminine, having more feministic properties or essences. Not.
And what are those?
Like dark, cool, calm, quiet,
creativity,
creative, healing,
nurturing,
receiving, those kinds of things.
Okay.
And then the right side of the body has a tendency to be associated more with the masculine essence. So the opposites of those, like light, fire, more work or more effort, more output, and those to-do lists, right? We've got things to do. Right. So if you go with that, and you can do your own research here and look into it, but if you want to, you can reference then your nostrils is what we're getting at for the breath. If you feel you're really tense and wound up and you want to calm down, I'm going to block my right nostril, and just breathe in and out through the left nostril. And when you do that, you're sending that energy and that cueing through the body then to activate more or connect more with the feminine side. So if you're going to upstate and you want to calm, maybe you're having difficulty falling asleep because your brain's still going, you could try that, blocking the one side for a minute or two and just breathing in and out through the left nostril may help to calm things back down. Or the other way, if you're midday and you're like, oh, I got work, then you want to get it done. Then maybe you want to block, I might block my left nostril and breathe in and out through the right side to try to stimulate some more masculine energy or essence for going and doing. I wouldn't do that all the time because it's exactly what we're just saying. When your body needs rest, it's probably wise to rest. But if you want a little cheat or a little hack in there, if you needed 15 more minutes of productive work, you might be, you can use that, think of using that side. So I guess that's probably enough. You can do more research on your own unless you wanted to add.
No, I like that idea. I am a very A-type personality and I have a list. So I do a lot of, I have a lot of those masculine traits where it's like, get this done. However, I do love my feminine side because I have the best ideas.
Always.
I get so creative and I love tapping into that. And I get very, very sad when these ideas don't come to me. I get sad and I get frustrated and I'm like, oh, I used to be able to have all these like ideas and now my ideas are blocked. So for me, when I want to tap into that, it's a good, I can use it as a tool to tap into that feminine side, to get that creativity. Yeah, we do that a lot. We do this alternate nostril breathing in yoga class. We'll breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, and then breathe out. And we do that, but that's more of a balance of those two.
Good blending, harmonizing, because you're flowing through one through the other, so you get a nice balancing effect from that.
But like I said, we'll talk next week on.
We'll give you some more.
Yeah, on some
specific breathing patterns or techniques next week.
So we hit on a lot. We hit on detoxification. We hit on stress reduction. We hit on our circulatory system. We hit on our immune system with the lymphatics.
Respiratory system.
Yeah, respiratory system. We we talked about meditation. So a lot of other benefits to focusing on your breath, not just needing oxygen to live, but so many other benefits that are for your body. So yeah.
Sure. All right. I'm empty, but
yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. We'll do a cheers on an empty cup. But cheers. We'll see you again next week. And if you get a chance, get outside, get some fresh air and breathe in the good fresh air from out there. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.